Hey train fans, and welcome back to Rockwall Canyon Studios. Back after a long winter break here, but we're ready to get back at it here. So let's get started with our usual upcoming G-Scale events. This weekend in Willmington, Massachusetts, we have the New Hampshire Garden Railway Society displaying at the All Scales Greenberg train show at the Shriners Auditorium. That'll be March 21st and 22nd from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on each day. And next we have the Great Lakes Train Expo, which will be at the Metroplex in Girard, Ohio from May 15th to 16th. And at the same time, there's also going to be the MidwestGarden Railroad Gathering, which will kind of bracket that event starting on May 13th and concluding on May 17th. So the Expo, again, is like the train show, and the MidwestGarden Railroad Gathering would be like the social aspects, the Garden Railroad tours, etc. Next up in June, we have the New Hampshire Garden Railway Society displaying at Bedrock Gardens in Lee, New Hampshire. And that is a botanical garden, which we are displaying at for the first time. So we're pretty excited about that. We're going to have our evergreen layout, which is a portable layout that'll be under a tent. I'm not sure what we're doing yet for scenery and so forth. Hopefully we can work out something with the botanical gardens to make that a little more special. But if you are in the area and you want to meet up with the Hampshire Garden Railway Society, maybe consider joining the club, or maybe you're just interested in trains and you want to check out the gardens too. It's a great opportunity for that. And lastly, on my list, I have the Big Train Operators Convention, which will be in Scranton, Pennsylvania this year. It's the home of Steamtown. And that is July 19th through July 24th. So check out their website for more information on that. I think I have a little something up here in the corner here, but it's not like an official flyer or anything. It's kind of like a sign-up sheet. So I'm sure there'll be more information on that to come. All right, and that is it for our G-Scale events. If you have anything you would like me to bring up, please send me a message in the comments or catch me on Facebook, and I'll do my best to make that known. So back after 55 days of not having any videos up, we had some extreme snow here in southern New Hampshire. So much snow that I decided I would actually take up skiing again. I hadn't done much skiing in the last 10 years, and this happened to be the year that we decided to get back into it. Did a lot of alpine skiing, and the mountains are great this year. Actually, the further south you went in New Hampshire, the better it was. And as a result of that excellent snow down here, it also made great conditions for cross-country skiing. And we happened to have a lovely town forest near my house, and so we were able to actually go cross-country skiing on those trails right there, totally free. So kind of thing I could just get up in the morning for work and throw on my skis and go for instead of taking a morning walk or run, it was a morning cross-country ski. So that was very nice. It turns out that we have some snowshoers in the neighborhood that also use the town forest, so they very nicely packed down the trail for my cross-country skis, because we had so much snow that it was actually difficult to just kind of break trail with just the skis. You really needed to have kind of a packed down place to go. So that's what I've been doing for the last couple months here. So last I spoke, we were getting ready for the January train show at the Big E in Springfield, the Amherst Railway Society. That's the big event where we have our New Hampshire Garden Railway Society big green layout, this absolutely massive layout. And as it turned out, it was cut short essentially because of the weather. We had a massive snowstorm come through, I think on the 25th of January. and our club had to actually leave early. They weren't able to participate for the Sunday event. So that was kind of a shame. That's kind of a really big deal for model railroad thing in New England. So to have that event cut short is kind of a shame. But it also meant that my railroad here was shut down too. The amount of snow that we got was too much for me to try to bring out my snow plows and so forth. The snow was incredibly deep, and it just kept coming. And it seemed like every time we'd have a break, we start to get a little sublimation, the snow would start to disappear a little bit, and it would just get replaced. So we essentially had 2 feet of snow on the ground up until just a couple weeks ago, when it started to finally taper off a little bit here, and then last week we had some really good melting. So after 55 days, I finally got out today and actually tried to run a train. So I got my trusty USA Trains GP9 out there, and had a couple of freight cars that hooked up, and around the layout we went. Turned out that roughly 3/4 of the layout were very easily passable. And then on the northern side, actually, I should say the southern side of the layout, it runs along the trees. And the way that my property is situated, the sun cannot get to that area this time of year. So just by having the shade there, the snow has not melted like it has on the rest of the layout. The northern side was completely clear. You could walk around no problem. The track was all clear. But that southern side, it still has 18 inches of snow on it. So thankfully, along the tree line, most of my track is elevated, so that actually had cleared off on its own. But it is actually the Rockwall Canyon proper area, the township area, where I kind of have my home base for the railroad. That's like the hardest place to get the snow to melt in, and so literally had to blast through 18 inches of snow around that loop there. To try to get the track clear, and then even after that, like the track was still very icy. It was about 40 degrees today, so after a little while, that started to soften up a little bit, and I was able to get my snowplow car which has a little extra ballast in it, so I was able to get that to go around the track and successfully without derailing too many times. And unfortunately, my GP7, GP9 there suffered a broken wire on one of the trucks, so it kind of got cut short after a while there. But just enough to get the track opened up, and I was able to run the train around a few times. So great feeling to have the track back open again, and be running trains in 2026 again. In the video that I'm showing here of that train running, so you have a couple of hopper cars on there. Excuse me. So one of the cars on this train is actually a 3D printed hopper car. It's very similar to the Aristocraft or Bachmann 100-ton hopper car. But it was designed by Chris Murray of 512 Designs on Thingiverse or Makerworld if you use any of the bamboo products. It's totally free to download. I think he generally uses HO scale models to create his 3D his 3D images to make these models from. So it's not like it's a total carbon copy of the Aristocraft or anything like that. Like there are some differences from his design and the Bachmann design, and so that's kind of neat to have a slightly different variation on the 100-ton hopper. And it's really cool to be able to print it yourself. It's a really solid model. He actually has a really cool way of connecting the segments. So I think it was in three sections. So you could actually make a 2-bay or a 3-bay, and the connections are actually hexagonal holes in the underframe. So you can put a piece of I think it's 1/4-inch metal rod in there and glue it all together, and it makes a really solid unit. If you happen to watch Largescale live, which you should, with Andrew and Nico, he actually had they actually had Chris Murray on talking about all of his designs. So I invite you to go check that out. He has a really cool model out right now, the SD9. Um, Apparently, he's just a really big fan of the SD9 and decided he wanted to have one in G scale. And I think he probably didn't realize that the SD9 has been something that we've been promised in G scale for decades now. That was an Aristocraft thing that went on for years. That the SD9 is coming out in the next 5 years, and it just never ever happened. But he came and did it, and so we're thrilled to have that model now. So I just need to up my game with my 3D printer so I could try to make one myself. But and one change that I did have to do with these 110 hopper cars, actually, I used the epoxy coating method to get rid of the layer lines. My poor Anycubic printer is definitely on the way out and had some pretty serious layer lines with this model, and I wanted it to actually look half decent. The epoxy is fairly thick though, so it's it kind of give it more of a distressed look, which for a hopper car actually kind of works pretty cool. But if you look at it really closely, the detail is not as good as it should be. So I really need to up my printer game here. But that's sometime in the future. Looking to maybe get a bamboo unit, or I don't know. We'll see what happens. So anyways, folks, glad to be back with the podcast here, and glad to have trains running again. I hope wherever you're at, you are getting into better weather, and we'll be running trains. Okay, folks, hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please like and subscribe. If you'd like to connect with me, you can catch me on Facebook at the Rockwall Canyon Railroad Facebook page. All the links are in the show notes. Please check them out. Thanks for watching. Bye.